Translation. The mRNA carries the coded information into the cytoplasm. And in the cytoplasm, it's going to attach to a protein called a ribosome. The ribosome is made up of proteins and of rRNA, ribosomal RNA, a different type of RNA from the mRNA. It has two subunits, the small and the large. The mRNA attaches to the small subunit, and then the large subunit comes and attaches. And this is the step where the mRNA gets translated into protein. So, we have a third type of RNA, the translator RNA or tRNA, which carries two things. It carries, first of all, what we call an anticodon, which is three nitrogenous bases that are complementary to what we call a codon on the mRNA. A codon is three nitrogenous bases on the mRNA, three nucleotides, and they code for one amino acid. So the anticodon is the complementary to that. It's the three complementary nucleotides. The tRNA carries an anticodon and an amino acid that is specific to the codon that is carried by the anticodon. So every codon codes for one amino acid, and this amino acid is carried by a tRNA, which carries the anticodon specific to the codon that codes for this amino acid. So now we see how the DNA is actually a code, a genetic code. This is how the coding happens in translation, with codons that have anticodons, and at the other end of the tRNA, we have the amino acid that is specific to the codon that the anticodon is complementary to. So, the first codon in every mRNA codes for an amino acid called methionine, and this is what we call the initiator. So the tRNA that carries methionine is called the initiator tRNA, and it is what starts translation. It starts translating the mRNA, and this is the step that we call initiation, the first step of translation. The codon for methionine is AUG, adenine, uracil, and guanine. Now, the ribosome has two sites, the P site and the A site. Initiation happens in the P site. The codon that starts the mRNA is AUG, as we said, adenine, uracil, and guanine. The tRNA that can bind to this has the complementary sequence. And at the other end of this tRNA, it carries methionine. This binds to the first codon in the P site. So this is the first amino acid that is delivered to the ribosome. It is always methionine. The initiator tRNA carries methionine and carries the anticodon UAC, and it binds to the initiator codon AUG.